Hello.
Hey Wes, what's up, man?
You can hear me.
I can hear you. I can't see you. I can hear you though.
Oh,
That's all right. It's
helps.
early, man.
Gosh darn it. Hold on a second.
No, you're good.
Am I recording this?
I'm recording it.
Okay, good for you. Um, hold on a second. I thought it was like precisely going to be awesome at this time. I guess if I just push the little. All right, give me some guidance here, dude.
There should be on the
Start video. Got it.
there. Yeah,
Yeah.
there it is. We
Cool.
got it. What's
Nice.
going on, man? How are you?
I'm good. I'm really good.
Good. Happy to hear it. We've got Puddle the Mud and Hinder at the Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort in Mount Pleasant. That show's coming up on January 21st. I figure we could talk about that show and what you guys have got going on. But first things first, I know that growing up, you're a big soccer guy, had the chance to maybe possibly play overseas. I want to ask you, are you following the World Cup? Have you been watching some of these matches? And do you have a prediction for Sunday?
You know what? It's really hard to call the final on that sport, as well as a lot of other sports as well. I mean, look at all the crazy plays that happen, all over the world in different sports. And it's just like magically weird, crazy happens all the time.
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen. You've got the World Cup final coming up on Sunday. It's Argentina. It's France. Going to be an exciting game. I know if you're a soccer fan, you're stoked to see Messi and Mbappe, battle it out for the World Cup championship. So that's exciting and exciting for Puddle of Mud. You guys are back out on the road. You played a show a couple of weeks ago with Hardy. How did it feel to get back out there? I know you're sort of playing sporadic shows here and there.
Well, it's the holidays, so it's nice to actually be able to spend some time with my family. But yeah, it was fun playing with Hardy, man. I call that grunge country.
It's interesting. I feel like when Puddle of Mud, really hit back in the early 2000s, it would have been blasphemy for a rock band and a country artist to sort of share the same stage. But it feels like now the idea of genres and the whole, if you're a rock fan, you can only listen to rock. If you're a country fan, you only listen to country. I feel like all of that is sort of done, and that allows a band like Puddle of Mud to go play a show with Hardy and nobody bats an eyelash at it.
Yeah, I mean, it was totally cool. And I'm constantly like mixing genres of all kinds of different genres. And the new record has got a lot of that on it. There's a little country twang in a lot of Puddle of Mud. And I'm glad Hardy's just like, that guy's insane. He's super, super talented, great guy, super great. His wife's awesome. And his entire crew, his band, his drummer's like insane. I wish I could steal his drummer, but I don't steal people's drummers.
True or false, Hardy actually put out a cover of Blurry a couple of years ago.
Yeah, and well done, man. Well done.
When that sort of thing happens, I'm always curious because bands do covers all the time. Does he reach out to you and say, "Hey, is this cool? Do you have to give your blessing before it gets released?" Does any of that sort of stuff have to happen?
Yeah, you gotta give the blessing, and then run with it and kick some ass and have a good time, man. And it's definitely Blurry's just monstrous anyway, so it's like he just made it more like mega monstrous. So that's cool, man. It's actually I'm flattered. I'm flattered.
How wild is it, to now have a song that's been around so long that it's not just your local cover bands knocking it out on a Saturday night, but you have somebody like Hardy who's out putting it out as a single. That's got to be a pretty crazy feeling.
It's wonderful, and I now know what all the other artists that when we did the Rediscovered record with Danny Wimmer, and had a great time doing it. But yeah, you gotta get clearance, and like the Ataris did like a Don Henley. They actually got like massive airplay, and they still do. And he must have like signed off on it and said, "Yeah, go ahead and play that version." So
You mentioned
Pretty cool. Pretty cool of Don Henley to do that.
Yeah, right. No doubt. Yeah, I have not heard. I've not heard the best things about Don Henley over the years, so it is cool that he approved.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, I've heard. Not. I mean, I don't know that I have any personal stories, but just from different interviews that he maybe isn't the most friendly person. So yeah, for him to sign off, that's pretty cool.
He might have had a hangover or something,
Yeah, maybe. Everybody has a bad day, right?
Everybody's got a bad day, man.
No doubt. You mentioned new music earlier, and I've prepping this interview, read a bunch of other interviews that you've done, and you've talked about new Puddle of Mud music before the end of 2022. I hate to break this to you, but it's December 15th. The end of 2022 is coming here very, very quickly. Where do things stand with the follow-up to Welcome to Galvania? Where are we at?
Yeah, the new record, which I'm jokingly called is basically being mixed right now in New Mexico by John Kerswig. And I'm flying back into Kansas City tomorrow at 3:00, and I'm going straight into the studio, and I gotta go in there and nail some vocals that weren't super nailed at 3-4 o'clock in the morning. But, like you're super loose, so get another chance to go in there and work with John, and and just lay down the vocals correctly, and with plenty of rest and energy.
It was 10 years between Volume 4 and Welcome to Galvania. That's like a Metallica timeline. So how good does it feel to now have another album on the way just a couple of years later, as opposed to that decade between?
Yeah, that was kind of a never get married ever. If this is your career, never get married. Yeah, it should actually be illegal. Seriously. For people like me, we should not have any actual legal right to even marry anyone at all, ever in your entire life.
Is it true that on this new album you're working with a couple of your former bandmates? Again, this time around, Doug Ardito and Christian Stone, who you've been working with in the past. Are they back around for this new album?
Yeah, it's awesome, man. Those guys are just amazing, and they will always be amazing musicians and songwriters. And they have actually stored so many songs that we have actually collaborated together with in the last 10 whatever years. Yeah, I cannot wait. I cannot wait to be able to work with them and stuff, and just go back and forth and do a collaborational type deal. But fortunately they have families and stuff, and God bless all their children and their families and everything. And a lot of times, man, families are the most important thing.
Why do you? With all the band members that have come and gone in Puddle of Mud, why do you find yourself going back to Doug and Christian? Why do you always find yourself working with those guys?
Because they're genius. They get it. They understand the they understand a badass vibe. They get in a vibe. They get into a zone, and they're just hit making mother, man. And it's
you want to stay with those guys for sure.
Yeah, if you got hit making freak show awesome people, and you're actually a freak show awesome songwriter and magical weirdo like me, yeah, you get, and you throw a few, shoot, man, if they got the skills to throw hits out, man, it's gonna be crazy, amazing music.
What are the chances that fans that go to this show coming up on January 21st at the Soaring Eagle, what are the chances they might hear some new songs from that new album you're working on?
Yeah, that's big time possibility. No problemo. Yeah, we're definitely gonna be starting to play some of the the new material from the new record, and some of the new material from the old record, and a bunch of other it's fucking insane. Like, I don't even want to write songs anymore, man. I'm like, but I can't stop. It's just my passion.
Yeah, you got to write them, and then you have to learn them to go out and play shows, and it's just a big hassle.
Well, the hassle is just teaching other people how to do it correctly.
Man, it's pretty crazy to think that Come Clean turned 20 years old last year. Did you ever imagine that, like, back in 2001, things start happening, you'd still have songs, Blurry, Control, She Hates Me. Those are all songs that still get played like crazy at rock radio. It's difficult for me to wrap my head around that sort of thing, that, 20 years down the road, those songs are still as big now as they, maybe not as big now, but still, they're power songs at rock radio. They're songs that get thousands and thousands of spins every single year. Could you ever have imagined that those songs would have that sort of staying power?
Not to be cocky, but I actually seriously did, actually get like a tone, like, and some kind of like magical thing, and I actually just knew that it was like, I mean, me and anybody that I collaborated with, we were jumping up and down for joy that we actually just created that. And, it was just the most memorable moment in the world. All of the songs that, just like, guys go sky high and just rock, and connect to people, which is the most important thing. But yeah, when you actually seriously create some seriously killer, some amazing compositions, you get a vibe, and you get a feeling, and it's the best. That feeling is the most wonderful feeling in the world. And it'll be like when either France or the other team, Argentina, yeah, when all is said and done, you're gonna see some sad people, and in songwriting, there are points where it's just like, God, you don't get it. So it's just a magical experience. So whoever wins the World Cup tomorrow, they're gonna feel that vibe and that galvanic, that Galvania type feeling, and it's the best feeling in the world.
I have to imagine, though, as awesome as the success is of that first album, it's kind of a double-edged sword, because it's going to be difficult to sort of recapture that magic. Do you feel pressure? Do you still feel pressure when you're writing this new stuff? Like, man, it's tough to top what we did on that first record.
No, because we already, on Life on Display, Away From Me was #1 and nominated for a Grammy Award, and was actually, I think, actually got more spins than a lot of the other stuff. And then actually Psycho on Psycho like was #1 for like 50 something weeks, and got more spins than Blurry. And Control, that was #1, and then Spin You Around, even though it maybe didn't get to #1, it was top 5. And there's a bunch of songs that did great after Come Clean. And a majority of the you don't know, on the Stuck album, Puddle of Mud's first album, that actually like went like #1 in Kansas City without any label or anything at all. Thank God, 98.9 The Rock. I love you guys.
It's pretty cool, man, that even still today, that local rock radio can have that effect for bands. I get to host a local show here, and people still get, when they hear their song on the radio, they still get that sort of that feeling like, man, this is so cool. Even when people say radio is dead or whatever, playing a band song for the first time on the radio is still super cool. Not just for me, but for them as well. And you can see that sort of those bands that have the success like you did, 20 plus years ago.
I'm just talking seriously about like when you actually are creating it and it actually comes into fruition. Like that feeling. I mean, it's a magical feeling when you hear it on the radio anytime, and you're blessed. But I'm seriously talking about when you actually come up with it and you know that it's solid and it's got legs, and holy moly, how the hell did I just get that? Like, how the hell that just happened? And it's just a magical, happy feeling that you get. And you're like, whoa, like, ah!
When you look back at 20 years of the 20 plus years of the debut album, 30 years of Puddle of Mud, when you look back on everything, what are you most proud of? Is it those moments when you've created something and it has that feeling? What's the thing you're most proud of when you look back on everything you've done?
Most proud thing is just not giving up. Keep God first place. If you get into a little bit of a hassle with some people or whatever the hell, and it's a bad vibe, change your playgrounds, your playmates, and hit some meetings, which I'm basically getting ready to go do right now after I get off the phone with you, and go to a little AA meeting, and go talk to some people, and have some coffee, and try to encourage people to better themselves, and give them a positive energy.
Well, I won't keep you much longer. I know with this new album on the way, I assume that 2023, your calendar is going to start filling up here soon. You've got the show at the Soaring Eagle on the 21st, but I suspect that 2023, you guys will be out on the road a bunch, right?
We're going to be out on the road basically forever.
Well, we are looking forward to hearing new music in 2023, man. Looking forward to seeing you out at the Soaring Eagle coming up on January 21st, and we'll see a bunch more, because I'm sure you'll play shows all over Michigan in 2023.
All day.
Thanks, Wes, man. I appreciate it, dude.
No problem, man. You take it easy, dog.
All right, we'll see you, dude. Bye.
Yep. Cheers, brother.